you need to be focusing on, is this person right for you?
Mm-hmm. Who you are now.
Yeah. The person you are now, and is this the right move for you relationship-wise? Does this person fit the new you? And in time, those intimate details will come to light.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
that's kind of, I kind of lost my way on that one.
No, that's okay. Thank you for clarifying, because that makes a lot of sense. So,
what else did you have?
You've kind of already touched on this, but like, I think it's really important to schedule times to go out with your friends and to like build a really solid support system. I think that's one of the fundamental things, is having a good support system.
Yes, 100%.
And make sure like you're surrounding yourself with good, positive people who have like your best interest at heart. Be really careful who you give your time and your energy to, because it's very easy when you're in a really dark place, like going through a breakup, to kind of attract people who are also in a negative space too. But that's not going to do anything to help you heal. If anything, it's just going to keep you stuck there. So just be mindful of who you're surrounding yourself with.
I got a problem with that. Don't you give me that eyebrow. Okay, this is my problem with that. It's not in what you said. It's in reference to the person. If you feel like you can't talk to somebody that's supposed to be a friend to you, they need to fucking go.
Yes.
I can call anybody that's in my life right now and ask to talk to them about a bad situation, and they would listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
but that's because you've been very careful and selective on who you let into your corner.
That's exactly what I was getting to. That anybody in your life should be there for you no matter what. Or vice versa. They should be able to call you right now and be like, hey, I've got some shit going on. I'm in a dark place. I need to talk. And you should be like, all right, let's, like, you need me to come over? Like, you want to go grab some food? Like, what do we need to do to, like, what do you need?
Yes.
And it should be vice versa.
Yes.
I know that if I called one of my friends right now, just for instance, me and Leanna got into a really bad argument, and dude, I'm about to lose my shit. They'd be like, all right, well, let's go get something to eat. Let's hang out. Let's talk about this shit. Let's get away from this situation. If they're not willing to do that, you need new people in your life.
Yeah. And
if they bring drama into your life, they need to go.
Yep.
Let the door hit them where the good Lord split them.
That's what I was trying to say. So, thank you for.
Sorry if you hear our drinks.
Putting it in a man's perspective.
I guess. No, that shouldn't just be a man's perspective. That should be this perspective, period.
Yeah, no, I think I keep wording things wrong. What I mean is, you reiterated what I was trying to say in a different way. That, like, the way I said it might make sense to someone, the way you said it might make sense to someone.
I think I'm a little bit more harsh with it.
You are. That's okay. I kill him with kindness, and you kill him with the truth, baby.
Exactly. Anybody that's in your life should be family. Like, I consider all my friends family. Mm-hmm. Like, it's hard. It's hard for me to call them friends at this point because
they're your brothers.
Yeah, I mean these are my brothers. I mean, because I can literally talk to them about anything and everything, and I know the conversation will stay with them. Mm-hmm. Or if it goes anywhere, it dies to whoever they talk to. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Like when I talk to Brandon, like I know he might tell Angela some things, right, but I know that their conversation dies there.
Right.
Because that's just how good people they are.
Right.
And I think that when you, this is also piggybacking off of it, when you have people in your life that are at a low caliber, so to speak, that brings you down. Mm-hmm. And you don't need that. You need people that brings you up. That brings you up to their level. That puts you on their shoulders, as well as vice versa.
Preach, baby.
If you're with somebody that's very dramatic, very negative, always bringing you down, like you get a call from them and you're like, oh, fuck, what do they want? Yeah, that's not a friend. That's not even a fucking enemy. That's a problem, is what that is, and you need to separate yourself from that. Mm-hmm. But we need to get back to relationship shit.
Okay. Let yourself be sad. Let yourself feel all the feelings that you're feeling. Sit in your emotions and process them. Like, you can't heal if you don't let yourself feel and accept what it is that you're feeling. Now, I'm not saying to live in this dark hole in the corner by yourself for years. I'm saying that what you're going through is hard. What you're going through is sad. And it's honestly kind of like grief. Like, you're going to go through all kinds of phases. Sadness and anger and denial, and you're probably going to go through a phase of like wanting them back, and like just let yourself feel all of the things that you need to feel and truly process it, or you will never be able to move on.
Right. I agree with that a lot. I did a lot of crying. But I knew that I had to get it out of my system.
Yeah.
Like, I know that it's the man thing to toughen up and move on. Wrong, fucking wrong, wrong. I did that when I not broke up, but got a divorce. And that did not end well. Now, when this engagement ended, like I told you, I didn't turn to the bottle. I turned to my friends. But I also I had a lot of crying sessions in my car. A lot of crying sessions. And there's nothing wrong with letting it out.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with it.
So, something I actually saw on TikTok, it was a suggestion that I really liked. So we've talked about, on a previous episode, about sad music and like, there's a time and a place for it, but eventually you got to move on.
Right.
And what this girl was saying was like, create a sad like breakup playlist, whatever. And if you feel like you're really sad and you need to feel what you need to feel, like play that playlist. Give yourself a time limit, like 10, 20 minutes, where you're just going to listen to it. You're going to cry. You're going to do whatever you need to do. And then eventually, like, you've got to like let yourself move on, but then also on the flip side, have a hype playlist. So like when you're because you're going to have moments where you're going to feel fine. Mm-hmm. And you're going to feel like, you know what, I'm okay. I'm going to get through this. Have a hype playlist that you play that like gets you pumped up and gets you like ready to tackle the day and like gets you excited and motivated and joyful and bouncy and happy.
I'm with you to a certain extent. I mean, you're talking to the guy that has tons of music playlist that I make. I've made one for breakups. I've made one for like being positive like songs, like motivation songs, mm-hmm. like to keep you going. I've got sad rock playlist, sad pop playlist, sad metal playlist. I've also got get you going type shit. The only thing I disagree with is the time limit. I don't think you should put a time limit when you first break up.
No, not when you first break up.
I think that if you need to get the shit out of your system, I mean, there was hours I would spend in my car driving around listening to this in particular sad playlist I made, full of pop songs, mostly, that really helped me through that time period.
Yeah.
And I can go back and listen to the playlist now, and it doesn't make me sad, but it takes me back to that time period every now and then. And I like to be reminded of that heartbreak. I know it's weird, right?
Y'all can't see, but I gave him a funny look.
Yeah, she gave me a very funny look. I like to be reminded of that heartbreak because it reminds me that I overcame something very traumatic. Like, I mean, the engagement damn near killed me. Like, I mean, tried to hang myself, but, you know, I've talked about that already. It reminds me of everything that I lost, and to the point where I had nothing, and now I can focus on the positives, like where I'm at and what I've achieved. Mm-hmm. And that's what that song does for me. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't make me really sad anymore, but it takes me back to that time to when I felt hopeless and everything, and it helps me be more positive. It's like a reverse effect now. Like, it doesn't make me sad, but it makes me appreciate the sadness that I went through. If that makes sense.
It does.
I know it's a weird thing to say, you appreciate the sadness.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And I agree with you about the time limit, especially when the breakup's really fresh. I think when we talked about this last time, one of my points was that, like, how influential music can be, and the only thing that's not the word I want to use. Music is very powerful and very influential, and if you just allow yourself to sit there and listen to sad music all the time, you're going to be sad. So there's a time and a place for it, but eventually you've got to pull yourself out of it, and if you surround yourself with sad shit all the time, you're going to be sad. You're choosing that for yourself, and you're doing it to yourself. So if you need to listen to some sad music to process and cry and let out whatever you need to let out, there's nothing wrong with that. I think everyone does that, but there comes a point where you have to realize, okay, I have felt what I need to feel.
It's time to move on.
It's time to move on.
I do agree with that. It gets to a point where you've got to, quote unquote, put the bottle down and move on.
Yeah.
But when you're first going through it, it's okay.
Yeah.
If you're a guy, it's okay to cry.
Yes.
I know that the male mentality is crying's for pussies. Fuck you, dude. I did that. It didn't work. Now maybe some guys are, don't cry. Whatever. That's cool. But mentally on the inside, you're breaking. I don't give a fuck what you say. Because you're human. We're all fucking human.
You're just prolonging it.
Right. I've seen the toughest men that never cried cry. So don't tell me you don't feel anything. You don't feel sadness. Yeah. Don't give me that bullshit. Cry. Get it out of your fucking system. Fucking write it down on paper. Mm-hmm. Do voice to text. Make a TikTok. Do something. Get it out of your system.
Yeah. So one of the things that I wrote down that is one of the things to do after a breakup is get outside. Nature is healing. Feel the sunshine warm your skin. Listen to the birds and the sounds around you. One of my favorite things to do, which I took your mom there on Mother's Day, is to go by the river and listen to the rushing sound of the water. Wander through the forest. Go explore. I don't know where you guys live, but